Left-leaning cabinet members will try to convince President Rodrigo Duterte to revive peace talks with communist rebels when they meet him on February 20. Social Welfare Secretary Judy Taguiwalo, Agrarian Reform Secretary Rafael Mariano, and National Anti-Poverty Commission lead convener Lisa Massa will meet with Duterte along with Labor Secretary and Chief Government Negotiator Silvestre Bello and Chief Peace Advisor Jesus Dureza. Maza says it's hard to abandon the peace talks because it's already in the more substantive stage. Maza says they'll remind him of a proposed mechanism to verify violations by either side, apparently referring to the proposed bilateral ceasefire deal. Alleged NBA attacks against the military while a unilateral ceasefire was in place prompted Duterte to cancel the peace talks. Senator Antonio Trillanes on Thursday revives his allegation that President Rodrigo Duterte didn't declare 2.4 billion pesos in his bank accounts in his statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth when he was mayor. Trillanes made the same allegation during the 2016 campaign period. Trillanes, among Duterte's staunchest critics, says the president accumulated 2.4 billion pesos in several Bank of the Philippine Islands accounts. But this time, Trillanes provides the media supposed transaction histories of bank accounts owned by Duterte, his 3 adult children, and his common-law wife Hanilet Avencena from 2006 to 2015. He says he obtained the documents from concerned citizen Joseph de Mesa. He says Davao businessman Sammy Uy, the president's friend and campaign contributor, gave at least 118 million pesos to members of the Duterte family.
Patunayan kasi sinabi niya napapatunayan niya Di ba? Wala naman Siyam na buwan na. So Mr. President, panahon na at mamaya't mayain kita. Hindi ko bibitayin tong issue na to.
But the president's eldest daughter, Sarah, challenges Trillanes to show where she's hiding the alleged ill-gotten wealth. Sarah says, quote, "I am not putting up a front. I never pretended to be what I am not." Trillanes says he's willing to step down from his post should the allegations turn out to be false. Malacanang dismissed the allegations as political noise. Staunch administration ally Senator Alan Cayetano on Thursday admits he doesn't know why the Office of the Solicitor General moved to acquit alleged pork barrel scam mastermind Janet Napoles in a detention case for which she was convicted. Cayetano says, quote, "Like you, I am also asking for an explanation, and I know that this government does not act without a strategy." Solicitor General Jose Calida has come under fire for the move. Senator Laila de Lima describes it as questionable and suspicious. Calida denies speculation the government struck a deal with Napoles. He says that he's only after the rule of law. Malacanang on Thursday says the first EDSA People Power Revolution anniversary under the Duterte administration will be simple and quiet and will focus on moving the nation forward rather than celebrating the past. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says this year's anniversary will be about a reflection on nation building. This year's celebration will also be the first after the hero's burial of Ferdinand Marcos. The dictator was toppled by the People Power Revolt in 1986. President Rodrigo Duterte initiated the controversial burial to keep his campaign promises to the Marcoses. Marcoses' remains was buried at the Hero Cemetery last November 18, 2016. Former President Fidel Ramos says the main activity for the anniversary may be held inside Camp Aguinaldo instead of the traditional venue, the People Power Monument along EDSA. Duterte wanted public events not to be disruptive. United States President Donald Trump on Wednesday accuses his own intelligence community of being behind leaks that said his aides were in repeated contact with Russia in the run-up to his shock election victory last year. Trump tweets, quote, "Information is being illegally given to the failing New York Times and the Washington Post by the intelligence community, NSA, and FBI, just like Russia." He adds, quote, "The real scandal here is that classified information is illegally given out by intelligence like candy. Very un-American." Trump demanded former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's resignation Monday after he falsely claimed he didn't discuss U.S. sanctions with the Russian ambassador in December. A New York Times report also said Trump's aides, including former campaign manager Paul Manafort, had repeated contacts with Russia during the 2016 presidential campaign.